Imagine waking up one day and finding out that your hometown is trapped underneath a giant dome. No one can get in, no one can get out. What would you do? Well, that is the central question that master storyteller Stephen King has taken on in his brand new novel. It is aptly titled Under the Dome. It hits bookstores today. Great to have Mr. King with us. Thank you.
It's good to be here. Pleasure.
This is a long book. It is also long thought out. When did the idea for Under the Dome first come to you?
I first had the idea in 1976. It just sort of came to me. I had an image in my mind of people doing a press conference on a country road in Maine, and the people on one side, cold, starving, in a lot of trouble, and the press on the other side filming it and sending the images to the whole world, and it looks like there's nothing there, but the people inside can't get out. And I thought, this is really cool because it's almost like a microcosm of the situation that we're in. I mean, we're all under the dome in the sense that we all live on planet Earth. We can't get out. We have diminishing resources. We have an exploding population, and it's made people sort of aggravated. You can see that all over the world.
So the metaphor is intentional. It's not just storytelling that bleeds over. You tried to connect some dots here.
I did, and the other thing that interested me, even in '76, people were talking about the environment and acid rain. That was the big thing back then. And I thought to myself, if I make this dome, let's see what happens in terms of pollution, in terms of people running gasoline engines, because one of the things that I wanted to do when I started out with this was to cover a period of time, like a year. But with a big cast, the book would have been 9,000 pages instead of 1,000, and nobody would, it would have been like a telephone book. They'd
still read it, it'll just take longer. Without giving it away, how do we get under the dome?
Well, these people, it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and my main character, Dale Barber, is walking along a country road, and he sees a woodchuck coming the other way, and all at once the woodchuck's in two pieces. And that's how it comes down. And one of the issues is it terrorism? Is it a foreign government that doesn't like us? Is it even an experiment that the United States is running to see what happens in a situation like that? And of course, one of the tasks that the good people have under the dome is to try to figure out what's doing it so they can put an end to it. And there are a couple of people under there who are not the good guys, who sort of like it because it gives them a chance to exercise power.
An Iraq war veteran comes to the surface in this book. Intentional? Why make them an Iraq war veteran?
Well, I wanted to give the guy a military background because it makes him a better hero in a sense. But I also wanted to create a power structure in the town that would sort of mimic. When I wrote this, it was during the Bush administration, and I thought to myself, there are so many people in America who had this feeling that Dick Cheney was really running everything and that Bush was just sort of a mouthpiece. And I thought, well, what if you took that dynamic, and whether it was true or whether it wasn't, it makes an interesting dramatic structure.
It certainly does. Now, is it fair to say, revealing the mystery that I teased to in the introduction, that the book really revolves around Jake Tapper, our senior White House correspondent? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think you would have to say that Jake is one of the major characters in this book. There are actually a lot of news people in this book. We watch a lot of cable news in my house, and of course, when Jake comes on, we all fall down.
He gets the exclusive, he gets the first impression there.
Absolutely. He's the guy who's doing the stand-up when there's another catastrophe that I won't talk about.
Right.
And I think that Jake Tapper's usual beat is the White House.
But he really is a man of the world. Really,
he is, and I figured everybody would get pulled off for a story like this, and Jake would be the point man.
Mr. King, I want to thank you for being here and speaking the truth about the book and Jake Tapper. We're going to sign this for him.
I'm going to sign it for Jake.
He's waiting with bated breath. I'll take care of it, Jake. Don't worry. The rest of you, I know you're going to want to read an excerpt of Mr. King's book. Who wouldn't? It's going to be on our website, abcnews.com/books.